So we're going to attempt barbell squats for the first time in maybe a month, because despite the hip, groin, leg issue, I ended up with hemorrhoids, and that shit ain't fun. So unfortunately there was little to no exertion on the lower body because of that. But now that I feel like my backside isn't going to fall out of me, I may as well try a squat. So this is literally the first squat pattern I've attempted since everything. No knee sleeves, no belts, no fancy shits. Just see what happens. Okay, so there's a noticeable lack of wanting to load that right leg, a bit of discomfort in the bottom. I wouldn't call it pain, but there is a definite feeling of, I suppose, weakness, for want of a better word. And I can even see it in the mirror, a definite shift to the left hand side. And I can feel that point of discomfort right there now. Bit of a throbbing, will we say, not pain, but an awareness. So I'm probably gonna do a few more sets of that, saying 60 kg. I'm actually out of breath. And see, do a couple sets of that now and see what that feels like. Then might try one or two other movements and we take it from there. So this is going to be set 5 of 5x5 at 60 kg. Just to get some feedback. I definitely know the strength isn't there at the moment to what I would have assumed this would have felt like. But again, I'm not accustomed to anything on my back in a while. But I have quite a uncomfortable sensation on the medial side of the back of the leg. Feels like it's inside the knee. It's kind of a weird one. But again, I really haven't pushed this leg in anything. This leg's been doing so much more work, both consciously and subconsciously in certain situations. And subconsciously, I have a control over do you, so you can't just ignore those things really. So we'll do set 5 now, and then probably call it a day for that, because my biggest thing at the moment is just to assess what I feel like later, and more so tomorrow. I don't want anything to cause me to not be able to train every day or every second day through too much exertion and lack of recovery through that tissue that hasn't really been loaded very much. And if you're wondering what that tearing sound is, I'll tell you when. There we go. That is my knees. So my knees sound like Velcro whenever I squat. Ooh, that's very uncomfortable back of the knee now. Whenever I squat or walk upstairs or do any sort of loaded knee extension from a flex point, it sounds like Velcro ripping. That's been my knees for the guts of 3 years. No pain or anything. It's like clicks and cracks. You sort of don't pay attention if there's no pain, because we don't really know what they are. Too many variables, too many assumptions, too many theories. If there's no pain, I generally look at it and go, your body thinks it's okay, otherwise it'll tell you. And that's fucking wild. Out of breath. 5 sets of 5 reps of 60 kg is, yeah, quite humbling when you're out of breath already. Is what it is. Won't always be like this. Small bump in the road. And it can always be worse, you know. We had a bereavement in our family yesterday, so everything's a bit somber at the moment, so it's kind of nice to come in here and just feeling positive, get some sort of endorphins going and sort of make you appreciate other things, you know. So yeah, that's why it's exciting as first squats went. Again, just noticing now, like lower back on the right hand side kind of start to squeeze a little bit. Again, nothing to be concerned about. It's all just data. There's nothing wrong, nothing I need to change or do differently. From this point onwards, it's literally just going to be graded exposure. And of course, probably every day or every second day, introduce a new movement pattern. Things like split squats where it's singly that leg. Because obviously now I can feel, I can visually see shift towards away from that right leg towards my left. Now, having said that, I don't normally film from this side. The rack I use in the gym always film from the other side, so maybe it's something that's always been there. Again, these are observations. You're like, oh shit, you have a hip shift or a twist in your squat, you need to work on your internal rotation. Do you know what? Given I haven't squatted in 4 weeks, I don't really give a fuck. We just keep building and see. It'll probably adjust itself as this part of the body starts to get exposed to load and start to tolerate load and accept it and realize, look, there was a pathology there. If it's still there, we don't know. You know, they haven't really, didn't give measurements of tear and like that, so it's a case of just keep building now. But again, in this situation, it's what do I feel like tomorrow and the next day? Is there a delayed onset of symptoms from the stimulus once blood flow settled, everything's chilled out? Do I now start getting a bit of an ache or pain? Like, I feel like I say a bit of a throb there now, but it's not sore. So that to me is a win in itself. So we're going to test adduction, so Copenhagen plank, just straightforward. This is the good side, so just see what effort's required. Okay, that's nothing really. I'm not going to rearrange my room to film the other side, so you can just stare at my arse for a minute. Oh god. So, doesn't hurt. I'm laughing because I was gonna fucking cry. They're just fuck all strength. So yeah, that's humbling. Let's try again. No. Actually, if you see, then you fucking see stars there. Fuck, can't even talk. But I have a comparison. I could do that all day. Again, no pain, which obviously is a good thing because it means now I can sort of, well, again, we'll assess what it's like tomorrow. It just means I can push on and not be, kind of show my body I don't have to be too concerned that it's going to hurt. But again, we'll see tomorrow. After this, I'm going to do now one more thing for you now and me to see what it's like, and then supposed to figure out what happens tomorrow. So we're just going to try active hip flexion, because obviously squats and stuff, squats is passive hip flexion for the most part, more active extension. So flexion is where producing force through your legs has been a huge thing anyway, but I mean yesterday I managed full stack leg extensions, which was a nice little boost, because I think this hit me mentally harder than I thought it would have, which kind of made me feel a bit mentally weak, thinking, fuck, I think I'd be more resistant to this stuff because I deal with it every day with everyone else. But apart from my spinal compression fractures 26 years ago, I think, I've never actually had an injury, ironically. Had a bit of pain, aches and niggles here and there, but nothing that really sort of stopped me doing anything. So nothing would have classed as serious injury. It was just literally I've lost function. I'm not catastrophizing it, but the frustration within myself that where I went from squatting, I know I'm not the strongest person in the world, but from context, for squatting 210 kg doubles 5 weeks ago to doing 60 kg for sets of 5 15 minutes ago is it can be disheartening, but at the same time, I'm not in much pain. So that's fuck, happy days. Now we can be a bit more brave in our testing. So the good leg, that's easy. It's 8 kg kettlebell here just for reference. So as you can see, that's significantly harder, but no pain. So it's mad how you can all of a sudden sweat just like that. It's funny, I sort of this week I had, I suppose, the word freaks me out, but an epiphany where I've helped a lot of my clients from a mental / psychological viewpoint of their pain or their injury or their training, whether they be rehab or just strength training clients or body composition clients, whatever the case is. And I sort of realized this week that I actually didn't know how they felt. I said to them, I understand how you feel. I understand all this. I fucking didn't. I've never been in this position, ironically. I've never been injured outside of, like I said, I have 2 compression fractures in my thoracic spine. L4 and L5 vertebrae. I've lost 20 or 25% of the height through a compression fracture, through a jet skiing accident, 1999, I think, so 26 years ago. But I wasn't really mad into sport at the time, or it didn't really bother me. Whereas now I would call this an injury because I've lost function. I've gone from, in the space of 6 or 7 days, I went from being at my strongest ever, or my best ever, to being at my worst. I mean, 210 kg doubles for a week before I felt this pain with no inclination it was coming, to doing 60 kgs for sets of 5. Fuck. Yeah, and I kind of I think at one point I felt disappointed that I wasn't as mentally strong or resilient as I thought I would be. We all think we're tough and we all think we're fucking heroes, but like, it was, I don't know, it was the subconscious thing that people would think, oh, he got injured, he must be good at what he does, because that obviously isn't fucking true. But I think on the flip side, it's a good thing to show that no one's immune to it, because, we talk to people about injury prevention and do this exercise for injury prevention, and the ironic thing is I demonstrate so many of the things I prescribe week in, week out, day in, day out, and yet here I am. So it's just proof that you can't prevent injury. And like I say, this pain appeared out of fucking nowhere. I wasn't doing anything. I was lying on my fucking bed, and it was 4 days after I'd done anything, and it was the week 1 of a block that was light RP6, high bar squats, nothing, no, virtually no stimulus to some extent, to this pain appearing out of fucking nowhere, and fucking really flooring me. So yeah. See, Instagram's always Instagram, YouTube, but for the most part, it's all the highlights, it's all the wins, But like, sometimes showing people the lows and the challenges people face when they've helped you, and now they're in your shoes. And I'm doing this on my own because it's a learning curve experiment. I know what I'm doing. I have plenty of people if I need to bounce ideas off of or talk to, whatever. Where challenges my face, but I think for now it's quite simple. It's just, let's do the basics. Pressure through the foot to extend the hip, flex the hip, adduct the hip, abduct the hip, all those, just the basic hip movements, and just under load, and let's just see what happens, So as I said, the good thing is that today hasn't hurt. I can feel it now, but it's not pain, it's just I'm aware of it, and that's probably more psychological than physical. As I said, it'd be interesting to see what tomorrow brings. Am I sore tomorrow? Do also have a lot more power tomorrow. That wouldn't be unheard of. I won't be coming in tomorrow training, so it'll be left. That will be left till Monday. Yeah. And if you stayed this long, thank you very much.